Okay, BlizzCon, what's next panel for WoW Classic? Let's see, people were saying that there's some Classic Plus stuff
Good
going
afternoon,
on.
everyone. Here's
Let's
our
see.
next presentation. World of Warcraft Classic, what's next?
Now, to be fair, I've said it is not worth, in a Twitter, or in an X, whatever. I said it is actually not worth Blizzard's time nor money to try and make Classic Plus. You can hate me for it. I don't give a shit. Fuck Classic, straight up. If you're playing Classic, bro, you're weird as fuck. Like, I can't, like, you're just weird. But, especially if you play hardcore, bro, subhuman levels weird, okay? But, it is, the amount of people playing Classic is not that big, okay? You are not selling expansions in Classic. This is what I'm saying, like, it's not money-wise, in my opinion, not worth it. This is like a thank you letter to the community, sure, whatever, a love letter. But, like, my opinion, Blizzard is barely making any money from Classic. Okay. Oh, but the sub, bro. If they can't make you buy a new expansion for $70 every year or every 2 years, bro. Think about it this way: you're paying 3 months in advance per person, right? It's like that. That is like a lot more than just like a sub. Okay. I mean, in a short time span, right? I don't know. I don't think Classic is worth it. And also, people who want Classic Plus, I think they're forgetting that the people who made Classic are no longer there. So anyone who's gonna make Classic Plus now, it might as well be like a private server that is coming up with shit like Turtle WoW or Ascension WoW, okay? Whatever Blizz is gonna cook now is either gonna ruin the Classic experience, right? Or it's just gonna divide the community between saying it's like, oh, this Classic Plus is better than the regular Classic because right? And I highly doubt Blizzard can actually deliver a good Classic Plus experience. But fuck it, let's watch. That's my 2 cents before watching this shit.
Hola, BlizzCon! Hi! My name is Ana Resendes, and I am one of the 2 lead software engineers on the World of Warcraft Classic team. To my member and Tim Jones, our team's lead designer. Things were working.
Okay.
Of this was announced at BlizzCon 6 years.
Okay, what's
so
this?
you know, WoW Classic was announced at BlizzCon 6 years ago. And ever since that day, the team worked really hard to bring those precious memories of WoW to you and to me. The Classic journey officially started when you joined us in 2019 back in Azeroth creating a new character. Remembering the importance of having a good wand and being careful of how many mobs you pull at a time. We went through the journey of getting your first mount and feeling like you were riding the most powerful machine, making all those level 10s jealous of your speed. Eventually, we hit 60 levels.
The only time you would make them jealous was in actual Classic WoW, like vanilla, like in 2003 or 4, whatever. At this point, again, the game has been solved. There's no sense of mystery. Like, oh, he got his mount. Must be nice. I don't care. I'll get there because I know exactly what to do, because here's the guide I'm following that tells me everything I need to know. My best in slots since level fucking 50 to 60. The game has been solved. There's nothing interesting about this game. Oh, I killed Ragnaros. Bro, who gives a fuck about Ragnaros? We're way past Ragnaros at this point. Oh, BWD. Like, shut the fuck up.
And we went on to face some of the most iconic challenges, including the Fire Lord himself, Lord Ragnaros. We ran the Gong of Anchorage and saw new Scar Lords walking
Okay.
And we listened. This is Cataclysm.
Cataclysm,
Night of Mage. Your time is now.
Cataclysm, we know.
With varied opening.
Yeah,
We
know this shit. Yeah.
We're excited to announce your
Yeah.
There's a
Cataclysm. We got it.
our community. Yeah, hardcore.
Weirdos.
Yeah. So I have a question for people here. Who here has made it to level 16 hardcore?
All 3 people.
Yeah, that's very impressive. That's really, really impressive.
About how
But-
lifeless you guys are. But here I am watching a video about this shit, right? So
But, okay.
Who's the real loser,
Who
huh?
here has died before level 16 hardcore?
who even tried?
Me too. You and I, my friends, that has happened. But in fact, you're not alone. Yeah. You have joined the graveyard alongside all these characters, including those unfortunate hunters.
I'm sure Asmongold is happy to watch this chart when it says mage deaths. However, he's not very happy about the warrior deaths. Obviously, I'm not even sure whether there's paladin deaths. I'm assuming you can bubble hearth. But like, you know, how do the warlocks? I mean, there has to be a lot more warlocks than there are paladins. Because there's no fucking way warlocks are dying en masse like this. Like, bro, you have a tank pet. What the fuck?
So here are updated stats from end of last month. And for our next information of data here, I do not have a data table for this, but let's take a look at some reenactments of the 3 most common environmental deaths in hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
So
Elevator?
who else
Water.
was looting that final mob and forgot to take a look at their breath meter?
Idiots, yeah.
Or maybe you were too busy typing in the chat in Ironforge and became one with the Great Forge.
Dumb ways to die.
Or you misjudged the distance and gravity gave you a moral reminder. I've been there. Yeah, I mean, its side, players have engaged with our new. Very impressed by the community events and all the players that have been brave enough to participate in them. It takes a lot. But you know, as Holly mentioned earlier today, we have a new optional rule set coming to hardcore. So we are excited to officially
Solo self-bound. Okay.
Josh Greenfield. Wow. Your game producer on WoW Class Season of Discovery.
Okay, here
Today,
we go.
I'm going to give you an introduction and an overview of what our season is at a very high level, as well as giving you an idea of what our major features are. After this overview, I'm going to hand things off to a few other Classic team members
Level
to dig into some
bandits,
specifics about what I'm going to cover.
phases,
So let's go ahead and jump in.
Game activities.
So
Let's see.
it seems fitting to start off talking about discoveries. It's in the name after all, so it seems pretty important to the season. When you first start a character in Season of Discovery, it'll look and feel identical to original World of Warcraft. You'll slay kobolds, you'll give lazy peons a bonk, all the kind of normal things you do when starting fresh in World of Warcraft. When you get to around level 2, however, in the starter zone, your class trainer will offer you a new quest. And this is to go find your first rune. We'll talk about runes in a little bit more in a minute, but after that intro quest, the game simply tells you, go find more. And that's kind of where discoveries come in. Discoveries are essentially secrets hidden throughout the game world. They usually aren't quests in the traditional sense. There's nothing on your map to show them to you. This is Classic after all. And some may be as simple as a treasure coffer deep in a kobold mine, but many are small events kind of unto themselves, oftentimes requiring more than one player, a little bit of creativity, or some keen observation skills to obtain. One of the things we love about Azeroth is the sense of awe and wonder it inspires. It's a massive world. But due to the kind of solved nature of original WoW, it can sometimes feel a lot smaller than it did when we first started our adventures.
Yeah.
Discoveries are a way to disrupt that.
Just stay aware of it.
Keep the world familiar, comfortable, but add enough new things to find to evoke that sense of adventure and exploration we first felt when we stepped foot in Azeroth. Beyond the next hill, deep in the next crypt or cave, something exciting could be hidden. One other thing we love about discoveries is this social and information sharing aspect. For those first few weeks of each phase, we hope to find secret finding communities pop up, both in and out of game, as players scour Azeroth to find all these little hidden things. We can't wait to read general chat as players begin sharing what they found with each other in real time. We think that social and info sharing aspect is super exciting, and we can't wait to see how long it takes for all these little secrets to be found. In order to preserve this sense of discovery, we will not be holding a public beta or PTR for Season of Discovery. Thank you, yeah. We want day one of Season of Discovery to feel as fresh and full of surprises as we can. So we're taking a chance here to keep those first few weeks as exciting as possible. The last thing we'll say about discoveries now is that we wanted to craft them in a way that really felt at home in original WoW. Many times when playtesting amongst ourselves, we'd find a new NPC or an object, and someone would hesitate and say, like, is this from 2004? Is this new? And we're like, yeah, it's new. That's new to the season. And to us, that's a great success. The idea here is that these things feel as like a natural part of Azeroth as it was at this point in WoW's history.
Yeah.
Next, let's talk a little bit about level-banded content phases and what that means. In essence, level-banded content phases are how we're going to approach the level-up journey in Season of Discovery. When we initially launch, the level cap in Season of Discovery will be level 25. After a number of weeks, the level cap will increase to a higher level for the next phase. So why a level cap of 25 to start with? Well, our inspiration for this actually came from the WoW Classic Beta in 2019. We saw how much fun the game was when the level was capped at a lower level, and how players would find new and exciting talent and item combinations.
I also find it very coincidental that level 25 was the cap for closed beta for Diablo 4. Just saying.
To optimize around, and this is something we've
Why not
always
30?
looked back
30
fondly
sounds so
on,
much better.
and it's something we've wanted to sort of
Are they going to do
explore
25, then 40 or 50, and then 60?
ever since. We also realized how approachable an initial lower level cap could be. We talk a lot internally about approachability on WoW Classic and respecting players' time. There's a major goal of this level-banded approach.
Classic WoW does not respect your time. Get the fuck out of here. Classic WoW is the last thing on the fucking planet that respects your time. People are okay with it, that's something else, but Classic WoW really doesn't respect your time. Gathering 40 people for a raid? Walking from place to place? How about the taxis from one edge of the world to another? It's like, oh, I have a quest for you. Go to like this area 4 maps away, and when you get there, he'll send you right back to where you came from. Oh yeah, that's really respecting your time.
Approach to really give you a chance to get into it. One of the things we really consistently see on forums
I would agree that it's never too late to start Classic WoW because the game is not going further than where it is already. And honestly, probably joining later is better than joining early because everything will be so much cheaper because the economy is not going anywhere. If anything, like people will keep finding materials, putting them on the auction house, but you'll have less and less buyers, therefore material cost will go down. So if anything, the later you join, the better.
Social media too is it too late to start? And oftentimes we'll hear this literally within a day or two of a new release. And obviously it's never too late to start playing Classic WoW, but as we've all, grown into additional responsibilities.
In my opinion, you're like 17 years too late to start Classic WoW. That's just my opinion. Like, you're not getting that feeling back, buddy.
Responsibilities and found ourselves spending maybe a little less time playing games than we used to. We can definitely feel that sense of kind of fear of missing out or FOMO when we log in after a long week and see our friends 10 or 20 levels ahead of us. And for that, this level-banded approach is perfect.
Bro, if in Classic WoW you see somebody 3 levels ahead of you, you're like, bro, I'm like a day or 2 behind, okay? That's how fucked up it is. Classic WoW respects your time. Give me a fucking break.
There'll be plenty to do in each new leveling journey, from the quests and dungeons and battlegrounds we all know and love, to finding all the brand new things to discover across Azeroth. And then later on, leveling new alts to find all of their hidden discoveries as well. There's lots to do, but we're hoping that you won't ever feel that sense of being behind just because you couldn't play on a given day. We also plan to give a very sizable experience boost to the previous level band every time we raise the level cap. This is kind of similar to Joyous Journeys and Wrath Classic, if you're familiar with that. So even if you miss a phase or once a level in all, you'll be able to catch up to your friends in no time. So the next thing we want to talk about is in-game at level cap. So when we kind of decided on this level-banded content approach, we had to kind of sit down and ask ourselves, what is in-game when the level cap is 25? And first, I think it makes sense to talk a little bit about our inspiration. And this is something we really keep coming back to a lot on Classic. Since this is a version of original WoW, we wanted to start out grounded in familiar locations and put the focus for the new stuff on fresh gameplay and mechanics in those iconic dungeons and locales. To that end, our first raid in Season of Discovery will be the iconic dungeon, Blackfathom Deeps, reimagined as a 10-player raid instance. Thank you. Next, one of our main goals is to ensure that these are fully featured, deep, satisfying raids, and not simply the addition of a few mechanics to existing encounters as they were in 2004. All of these encounters are a full ground-up redesign and should feel like proper raid encounters. And of course, with new raids comes lots of new loot. In addition to raids, we also really want to play up that PvP aspect, and as a result, we're planning to add several outdoor PvP events to the game as the level caps increase. Thank you. Lastly, one of the things we're most excited about is where we go when we start getting to higher levels. We are leaving the door open to the possibility of completely new experiences and the prospects of exploring previously unfinished or unused locales for future raid and dungeon content. Which I feel level 60. I know, I'm excited too. I'm excited too. We think that level 25 is going to be full of great, memorable gameplay that feels right at home in original WoW, but this is just the first step, and we think the best is yet to come. So next, let's kind of change gears and talk about rune engraving a little bit. So this is one of the most exciting new things about Season of Discovery. One of the most consistent pieces of feedback we've gotten from previous iterations of original WoW, such as our Season of Mastery, is that many players would like to try some adjustments to their favorite class or spec. We really wanted to take a chance with Season of Discovery.
Not even try adjustments, it's make shit playable. It's like, I think that's what people ask for, just make shit playable. Make Shadow Priest playable with like mana regeneration or some shit. Make Boomkin with mana regeneration playable. Make Red Paladins playable, not an auto-attack champion.
And go kind of wild here, and we did. That's where rune engraving comes in. Rune engraving is a new skill that all Season of Discovery characters know automatically on character creation. Rune engraving allows you to gather, learn, and apply new class abilities directly to your equipment, kind of like enchants. In the initial 1 through 25 experience, you'll be able to discover runes in your chest, legs, and glove slots, and as the level cap increases, additional runes for other item slots will be discoverable over time. Once learned, runes are permanent and can be applied and reapplied to your gear at will, just out of combat. One of the most exciting things about these runes is that they exist completely.
Very not classic-esque. I'm all for this system in a sense, but like it's very not classic, okay?
Outside of the talent system, meaning that you could very realistically splash in, damage abilities with a healing talent spec, so you could solo a little bit better, or you could swap maybe to tanking ability runes to round out the tank spot in your 5-player group if you're missing one. You may also encounter previously faction-specific paladin and shaman buffs as runes, which helps bring some parity to each faction without those classes losing their unique flavor or the factions losing their unique flavor. In order to also streamline the talent system to go along with runes, we do plan to adjust the respec cost to be much more nominal in Season of Discovery, particularly at low levels. And that's not all. That's not all. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, someday, you won't be constrained to just one talent spec in Season of Discovery. Who knows? So.
What did it say?
And that's not all. That's not all. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, someday, you won't be constrained to just one talent spec in Season of Discovery.
Oh.
Who knows? Okay. So, overall, we've been playing this a ton internally. We've been having so much fun with it. It's everything we love about Classic,
honestly,
plus so much more.
They can just add loadouts to Classic, to be honest. Instead of like just reducing the cost for respecing, just fucking put in loadouts or some shit. I mean, again, I don't know how like. Maybe like super classic gamers would be like, no, that would ruin classic. I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing, but I can't understand the brain of a malfunctioning human that plays classic, so.
At this, I'd like to hand this over to one of our lead software engineers, Nora Valletta, to talk about some specific abilities you may encounter on the different classes, as well as to talk a bit about our PvP plans for Season of Discovery. Take it away, Nora.
Tank. What if Paladins did have a taunt? On that point,
Imagine.
We wanted to introduce abilities such that each class has something special, something that other classes can point to and go, dang, that's so cool, I wish I could do that. Many of the runes you find are greatest hits remixes of popular abilities
When
in
was the
various
last time that actually works? Like, man, that's so cool, I wish I could do that. More like, man, that's so cool, why the fuck can't I do that? That's usually the reaction.
Expansions, so many of them will be familiar to you. That said, some of these familiar abilities may actually behave a little differently than you remember. Some spells and abilities you'll discover have never been introduced before in any WoW expansion. For these, we were careful to make sure they were an appropriate fit for class fantasy. Most importantly, we want Classic to continue to feel like Classic. Many of the iconic spells and abilities you've seen in various WoW expansions feel fitting for that expansion or fitting for modern WoW, but would feel out of place in Classic, so we tried to avoid introducing anything with a too modern feel and made adjustments wherever it made sense. Anyways, enough of that.
Let's see what
Let's
that
take
means.
a sneak peek at some of those abilities. Druids. In Season of Discovery, you have an interrupt called Skull Bash, which can be used in cat or bear form. Fury of Storm Rage removes the mana cost of Wrath. Dealing damage with Wrath has a chance to make your next healing touch instant. Wild Growth applies a
That sounds like a retail ability. Okay.
heal over time effect to your target and up to 5 nearby party members.
That sounds like a retail ability.
Hello, Hunters. Beast Mastery will increase your pet's damage, health, and focus regen. Growl is now a proper taunt. Explosive Shot is a ranged damage over time ability, and Lone Wolf gives you a damage boost if you have no active pet. Pair this with dual wielding, and you've got yourself a mean melee hunter.
Lone Wolf so far is the only one that is like feels classic and actually would change the gameplay. In my opinion. Everything else, not really.
Mages. Ice Lance is an instant frost spell that deals triple damage to frozen targets. Living Flame causes flames to erupt and chase a nearby enemy, leaving a burning trail in its wake. And Regeneration is a heal, which marks your target with a temporal beacon. Another rune ability called Rewind Time will heal the damage taken over the previous 5 seconds. You can heal other people with this, by the way, not just yourself, so I hope you've made room on your roster for mage healers.
Not a good move. They just added 3 buttons to mage in classic. Not a good move. That's actually 3 buttons mages will probably click very often. Well, generation really depends. But like Living Flame and Ice Lance, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Paladins. In WoW Classic, they don't have a taunt, but here it is in Season of Discovery.
Yeah, well, the standard, yeah.
Hand of Reckoning is your taunt.
While you know this ability, the threat bonus from Righteous Fury is increased to 80%, and Righteous Fury causes you to gain mana when healed by others equal to 20% the amount healed. Additionally, while Righteous Fury is active, damage which takes you below 35% health is reduced by 20%. Righteous Fury will remain active until cancelled. Okay.
Knowing this ability will also increase the threat bonus of Righteous Fury and cause you to gain mana when healed by other players. Crusader Strike is a weapon attack.
So, basically what you're saying is right now, I believe, based on this, Paladin tanks are gonna be extremely strong in Classic now. Okay. Engrave your gloves with the Crusader Strike rune. An instant strike causes 7% weapon damage and generate 2% of your maximum mana.
It's a weapon attack which costs no additional mana and instead regenerates your mana slightly with each hit. And Seal of Martyrdom can be activated to cause melee attacks to strike other nearby targets. You'll lose health when inflicting damage with this. However, nearby party members will gain mana based on the damage you take. Priests. You can channel Penance to heal nearby friendly targets or deal damage to enemy targets. Prayer of Mending heals your target the next time they take damage or receive healing. Afterwards, it'll bounce to another friendly player nearby. Homunculi animates 3 miniature copies of your character, which will attack your target with a mace, a sword, and an axe, reducing their attack speed, attack power, and armor, respectively. Rogues. From Stealth.
Okay, really not classic-esque, but okay.
Shadow Strike allows you to teleport behind your target and strike for a nice big chunk of damage. Envenom is a finishing move. It deals poison damage based on your deadly poison doses on the target, and also increases the frequency of applying instant poison for some time afterwards. Just a Flesh Wound is our rogue tank ability. You generate way more threat, you take reduced physical damage while...
Again, this is very non-classic. This, extremely non-classic. Now they're trying to make everyone able to, like, this is where it starts, you know? It's like, we're trying to make everyone feel like everyone else. Like, why does a rogue need reduced physical damage? Get the fuck out of here. Rogues don't need defensives. They have stealth. Okay, that's what makes them special. Okay, you're gonna start giving them defensives. You're gonna have to start giving defensives to every fucking other class.
While Blade Dance is active, you're less likely to be critically hit by melee attacks, and your Feint ability turns into a taunt called Tease. Shamans. Lava Lash deals offhand weapon damage. Offhand. In Season of Discovery, enhancement shamans can dual wield with the help of another rune, not pictured here. Happy hunting. Healing Rain is a gradual AoE heal that can be placed on the ground, or on a lamppost, or on the ceiling. Way of Earth allows you to perform the coveted role of Shaman Tank.
Engrave your pants with the Way of Earth rune. While Rock Biter weapon is active on your main hand, you deal 100% increased threat, gain 30% increased health. Okay.
With this, you'll deal increased threat, you'll take less damage, and Earthshock becomes your taunt. Warlocks.
Great class fantasy so far.
Haunt deals damage, increases all shadow damage you deal to the target, and heals you for the damage it dealt once it's dispelled or expires. Chaos Bolt sends a big beefy bolt of fire at the enemy. It always hits, it can't be resisted, and it causes all of your fire spells to pierce through absorption effects. And Metamorphosis.
Okay, why not?
This is your
'cause
shapeshift,
this was
allowing you to
TBC.
transform into a demon, similar to a druid's bear form, increasing your armor and reducing your chance to be critically hit. Searing Pain becomes instant, Shadow Bolt becomes a melee cleave, and Curse of Recklessness is your taunt. Warriors.
Okay.
Victory Rush is a weapon attack that can be used after killing an enemy. It will heal you for a certain percentage of your health. Devastate will cause your Sunder armor to deal main hand weapon damage, increased for each stack of Sunder armor already on the target. And Raging Blow is a vicious strike that deals heavy damage, but can only be used while enraged. Now this is just a taste of all the abilities coming to classes in Season of Discovery. And really, bottom line, we want everyone to feel OP. Anyways, enough about runes. Let's instead turn our attention to the ancient forest of Ashenvale in northern Kalimdor. Ashenvale is known for its beauty, its rich natural resources, and its role as a hotly contested territory. It's PvP and a priestess of the moon for the Alliance. These leaders are spawned across the zone. That's level 25 in Ashenvale. It will increase your speed by 50%, giving you the extra boost you need to seek and destroy the enemy. So, come kick some ash in Ashenvale. I'll see you there.
That's fine. I'm totally down for that.
Anyways, I've done enough talking. It's time for me to pass things off.
Okay.
My name is Tim Jones, and I'm the assistant lead designer on World of Warcraft Classic. Woo! Crafting an item for a friend, or chatting in guild about where to find that new Metamorphosis rune to deliver on Imagine. Alongside the Zorm Strand on Ashenvale's north coast lies the ruins of an ancient elven temple to the goddess Elune. Evil stirs within. You've been here before, maybe not. No matter your familiarity with this place, it's hard not to be drawn in by the mystique, the rich art, the level design, as well as the robust. Equip your runes, find 9 of your best friends, and get ready. The Classic team is proud to announce Level Up Raids. New instance challenges for raid groups to experience the max level for each of Season of Discovery's content bands. Woo! Raid that you'll experience. God knows, content phases and season riches within, and as such, Black Fathom will offer a 3-day lockout, much like the raid Zul'Gurub.
3-day lockout, how does that work?
The story's the same, the location and creatures may be familiar to some, but the challenges and rewards are brand new. 7 new bosses are here to both entertain and test your skills. And how could we not make raid content without new loot? Existing quests and rewards have also been updated for the raid as well. And you'll even be able to find secrets within the raid. Can you solve the mystery of the Twilight Artisan? Can you find the recipes for Black Fathom sharpening stones and wizard oil? And will you be the first group to access the new world buff, Boon of Black Fathom? Ooh. Okay. I love your guys' enthusiasm. This is amazing. Let's be behind the curtain at what challenges await players in Black Fathom, or as we affectionately call it, BFD, not to be confused with BRD or BFA or BWL or BWD. You guys get the idea. Baron Aquinas, he guards the entrance. No longer a simple quest NPC. You must challenge his elemental lieutenants that inhabit the Fathom Stones and defeat him. And in doing so, you may face off against Aquinas himself atop the infamous jumping puzzle. And jump you must to get in range of the Baron, but beware both the boss and your teammates, because there are many a peril that may knock you off. In all honesty, this boss is lightly tuned, and there are some hidden power-ups below the water to help you return to the platform.
I guess Espen
Next off, you
didn't
must
find
face
any of them.
against Gamura, the fearsome turtle that's been swimming in the enchanted waters of the deeps for a long, long time. Exposure to these energies has granted her both power and size, but most importantly, she's now protected by a magical barrier that protects her against almost any attack. Break through this barrier and start blasting for massive damage. Get your orange parse. All this commotion will bring you to the attention of Lady Saraves, a powerful and reckless Naga sea witch who commands a legion of Black Fathom elite in Myrmidons. She is a formidable foe that will overwhelm you unless you find a way to turn her own spells against her and her minions. These 3 bosses round out the prologue of Black Fathom Deeps, and all 3 are available to fight in our demo in Hall D. Check it out.
Okay.
And that's not it. Witness the corruption of Gelihast and take on the march of the Void Murlocs. Break past Lorgus Jet's magical barriers and corrupted totems. Conquer your dreams as you challenge Twilight Lord Kelris. And good luck against the giant Void Hydra. Seriously, you're going to need it. And not to forget, there will be glittering prizes awaiting you, including some of these fancy items. Now, telling you all this is great, but I think we'd rather just show you. So it is my pleasure to provide a quick sneak peek video of the raid, edited by the team itself, as though it was pulled straight from a community website in 2005. Please take a look.
I mean, overall, for now, I would say Classic at least got some content. I don't think Classic players are going to be happy with this once it's out, but
that's it for today,
At least they
guys.
got
We're looking forward
something.
to. Oh, okay. That shouldn't be here. Okay, that should definitely. Okay, sorry. We should have. Okay. Oops. That's it for today. On behalf of the Classic team, and as Anna mentioned at the top, nothing that we do in WoW Classic would be possible without all of your support. And
So I'm assuming that
should be here.
was
Okay,
Gnommergun.
that should definitely.
I'm not even sure what this would be. Has to be some undead place. I'm not sure.
Okay,
But
sorry.
this
We
is
should have.
the Karazhan Crypt. Yeah.
Okay. Team and his voice. Thank you so much for making the dream of experiences we're working on a reality.
It looks like a happy-go-lucky guy, kind of, you know?
We can't wait to see what else we have in store for the future. We can't wait for you to see. So please stay tuned for Hearthstone, what's next, coming up right after this. And we hope you have enjoyed this look ahead at what's next for WoW Classic. I want to reiterate, this is just a taste of all that you're going to uncover in Season of Discovery. And for those of you here at BlizzCon, we hope you get to take on the first 3 bosses of our Black Fathom Deeps raid on the show floor. And for everyone else, we're so excited for you to experience it when Season of Discovery launches worldwide in just a few short weeks on November 30th.
Will this get me to play Classic? No. Because again, I hate the gameplay. Like, the gameplay just sucks. It was a good game for 2003, don't get me wrong, but like I said, again, if this game was released in 2023 or 2018 or 2017, whenever Classic was released, and it wasn't called Warcraft, nobody would be playing it. I am 100% sure that people are only playing it because it is called Warcraft. Because they either have nostalgia or they want to experience what someone they knew experienced. Right? They're fueled by other people's nostalgia. Right? So oh yeah, like I had this one guy. It's like, oh yeah, I never played WoW. I'm not fueled by nostalgia. It's like you might not have direct nostalgia, but you either had people around you that played it, heard about this game while you're playing it. Everyone who is fueled by nostalgia is making you feel like you are a part of them, kind of thing, in their environments. Like, oh my god, there's so many players, and so many players, right? So you're like, holy shit, man, this game is popping. So you're fueled, either you're fueled by nostalgia or you're fueled by other people's nostalgia. Because I guarantee if this game came out in modern day gaming and it was not called Warcraft, ain't nobody gonna play it. And I'm gonna die on that hill. Find my grave there. Anyways, that's it for this one. Yeah, I mean, again, it's cool that they're making these weird-ass changes to Classic. I honestly feel like a lot of these are not Classic. But, whatever, we'll see how it goes. I'm sure the Classic players will give this a try, but I'm sure they will quit really fucking fast. Really fucking fast. Why? Because it's not Classic. And they can keep saying, it's like, oh, I want Mythic, I want Classic Plus, I want Mythic Plus. The developers that made Classic, first of all, Classic, I don't remember who described it, but Classic was essentially a happy set of events of coincidences, right? Just a bunch of coincidences that somehow came together and it worked and became this majestic fucking thing, and they have no idea how they did it. Okay, how they designed this game to be so loved in 2003. I doubt the developers that are making it now are as excited about making Classic WoW as the people who made Classic WoW to begin with. And that's understandable. I'm not even faulting them for that. I'm just saying your expectations for a Classic Plus should be at the same level as the enthusiasm difference between the people who make Classic WoW now versus people who made Classic WoW before. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, good luck to you, Blizzard shills. You guys have some food for today. But honestly, I ain't seen nothing about Warcraft yet that would make me want to play it again. Not only make me want to play it, like if this was free, I would probably play for like a day to check it out. Not only not make me want to play it, but also like I am not spending any money on this game because it's not worth it. Imagine paying a service fee to World of Warcraft Classic and getting no content for it. You're just getting servers to play on. Meanwhile, you had private servers all along. You guys, something is wrong with your head. Anyways, that's it for me.